Welcome everyone, I'm Truthman and this is the OC Show Live Q&A, your bi-weekly show to know everything about the latest hardware and overclocking news. Tonight we have the chance to talk about the 980 Ti special overclocking editions. We got the MSI Lightning, the ASUS Strix, the Galax Hall of Fame and the EVGA Kingping editions. And we're also gonna talk about the best way to review these VGAs. Tonight, as a first-time guest on the show, please welcome Strong Island 1. He's an overclocker from the USA with a long list of various VGA that he benched over the years. So please welcome Strong Island 1. Hey man,
hi guys,
how are you?
How's it going? Thanks for having me.
Perfect. Well, thank you for joining us. That's going to be interesting to have one new point of view in this show. Second guest tonight is Neo. Neo is the owner of the Overclocker web magazine. That's the only full-on overclocking publication. And as you guys have been seeing Neo quite a lot, he's a long-time guest of the OC show. Hey Neo, how is it going?
It's all good. How is everybody?
It's great. It's weird to have your white cap on a white background. It's like your head's almost disappear in the background.
It's not as bad as a green cap on a green screen.
On a green screen. So, and as always, Xiala will be our producer from OverClocking-TV, and you guys are live from our studio in Taipei. Hey, Timothée.
Hey, how's it going, Truth?
Doing well. So don't forget, guys, for those watching us on the live, you can always ask your questions on the live chat. We are monitoring that. Actually, Timothée is monitoring that today. So if you have any questions, don't hesitate to do that. And although if you like what we're doing, always click follow on the just below the stream so we can see that.
Yeah.
So Timothée, first topic for tonight, online competitions updates. So we're in the middle of September. There's a lot of competitions closing. So what are the scores on these competitions?
So actually, a lot of competition actually closed this weekend, pretty much. So we had the Rookie Rumble closing, we have the Novice Nimble closing, and we had also the MSI competition that finished this weekend. So I'm gonna pull you up all this right now so you can have a look. So the Rookie Rumble, this one was, it's a summer Rookie Rumble, 154 overclockers in this one. And we had Sergey R that won this one, Chili B is second, and NCN underscore MD is third. As you can see also right now, so it's over, and so Sergey is the winner as usual. Because this just ended this weekend, we have the moderators to have to go over the scores. So all the scores, all the rankings we're telling you right now, of course, need a little bit of confirmation as usual. Second competition that finished this weekend, the Novice Nimble. That's a team-based competition for novices, so people that have between 3 months and 1 year at Eishaibot. Pretty popular now, 29 teams. This is also mainly due to the fact that a lot of people before didn't have any team at Eishaibot, and Eishaibot introduced a new feature that if you don't have any team for a little while, you're added automatically to a team of rookies or a team of novices of your country. So you end up with teams that are, for example, called, if I go down the ranking, OC team, novices of Japan, for example, rookies of Belarus, etc., etc. So those guys are people that were automatically added to those teams, which is a great way for overclockers to actually find mates in their country with the same level. So Novice Nimble 4, again, one full-blown victory from Coquetland. Even if the scores are not confirmed, we can probably say from the previous ones, because they won actually all the previous cups.
Yeah, the French won again.
Yeah, so they are actually winning again. Overclock.net is second, which is great, and Hardware Ready OC official team from Italy is third. Hardware looks well at some point, in the top 3, but it was not enough to maintain themselves there. So hopefully next time. Moving on to other team competitions, and those ones actually very, very big one. That's the Eishaibot Team Cup, the biggest actually team-based competition at Eishaibot every year. There's 9 days left for this one, so it's gonna be a tight battle. And as you can see, classicplatforms.com, which is well known for their really wide range selection of hardware. They stock pretty much everything. They have old cards, new cards, everything. So this team very active in the Team Cup and has 933 points at the moment, followed by overclockers.com, another team from the US, and overclock.net, which is also US/Canada based. So it seems like this year the Team Cup is pretty much controlled by those guys. They're sitting in the top 3 since really quite a while. So I find it a bit sad personally that there's no European teams, but it's okay, it happens. Moving on to another competition. This one sponsored competition by MSI, the MSI Godlike OC Tournament 3D Battle. The 2D Battle was over last month. So this one 3D, two different parts. There's the ambient part and the extreme part. In the ambient part we had 10 overclockers. Rouse 009 from Peru is actually ranked first in this competition. NVIDIA Forever 2 from France, is second, and Ivan Kupa from Indonesia third. So very well done, guys. Scores okay, again to be confirmed, of course. Announcement very soon. Extreme 3D battle, a little less overclockers, 8 overclockers here. Of course, extreme on 3D is always a little bit challenging. We have here, of course, familiar faces. Dr. Wees from South Africa, which seems to be actually in control of this competition, always at the top pretty much the whole way. Zizolio from Denmark, a big fan of 3D benching, is sitting on the second spot at the moment, and Lucky Noob on the third spot from Indonesia, followed by his apprentice, but I don't think he's his apprentice anymore. It's almost a
competitor now.
Yes, so fourth place for him. Very great, very well done. It's again scores to be confirmed, but here again I would not expect too much, because those guys are quite used to, you know, competitions, so I don't think there will be much mistakes on their sides in terms of submission scores, etc. So that's about it for the competition, Truth.
Well, Strong Guardian 1, we just discussed before the show, you are actually competing in one of the competitions at AOC-Esports.io. Can you tell a bit more about that?
Yeah, it's the which is the top division again? Division 1?
Division 1?
Yeah, it's Division 1, Round 3. So far I've only submitted one score, the Fire Strike Extreme, number 3 score. I'm working on the other scores right now. Now that the points are added to your, you know, total and the ranking, it's you know, made it really important to get involved, you know, as much as you can. So that was the main reason why I joined, really.
Well, and you have a strong graphic cards for that, and that's our next topic, the GeForce 980 Ti pre-overclock card, and mainly the special OC features. So the 980 Ti is the beast, as we all know. That's the fastest and the biggest graphic card so far on the market, and all the main manufacturers are going full out to produce the best overclocking card. We have the chance to thank our partners, MSI, ASUS, EVGA, and Galax, so we can present you guys all the card in this show. Before we start to present all the cards, you guys on the live chat, you can go and vote on the straw poll on which is your best graphic card, so you can just go there and vote for your best graphic card that we're gonna present.
Your best or your favorite if you haven't tried it, because it's not possible to say which is the best if you haven't tried it.
Indeed. Let's start with the first one. So the MSI 980 Ti Lightning. Chala, do you want to go over it and present us what's so special about it?
Of course. So I just switched the angle to our selection of cards, which is actually it looks super nice. I mean, like it's awesome. So concerning the Lightning, which is this card over here, so we have a base clock of 1203 and a boost at 1304. This graphic card, like pretty much all the other cards, sports 6 GB of RAM, which seems to be the new standard if you want to run multiple 4K monitors. A 3.54 GHz memory frequency on this RAM. We have a triple fan design, which most of the cards have besides the Kingpin card, and we have of course a 12 plus 3 PWM output with 3 DP, 1 HDMI, 1 DVI, everything. And what is special about this card, overclocking wise, is of course it's pre-overclocked, but also it comes with all the V checkpoints at the back, as well as the connector for the panel. So yeah, this card is quite nice actually.
Can we have Neo making the booth babes and presenting the card directly to the?
You want him to hold the card? You mean?
Yeah. Let's not do
actually
that this time.
talking about this card, because what I found really interesting about this card is it's the packaging. Really nice. We picked that card at MSI directly here in Taipei, and I mean the box is huge. Neo, can you grab me the box, please? like, because we have to show you guys how big this actually is. It's massive. So
it's like almost as big as a mainboard box now.
Yeah, it's bigger than a mainboard box, I would say. It's inside you have some kind of casing, so you open it up like that, like you would find for, you know, very high-grade microphones. It's nicely put into the foam. You have a little drawer even designed in there where you can pull out, of course, the SLI bridges, etc., etc. All the adapters.
Like the CD with the drivers.
CD with drivers, of course, as usual, and the manual, etc. So really, really good. Like when you buy this, I'm pretty sure anyone buying this would have a feeling that yes, they've got their value for money in terms of at least the boxing and everything, and when they pull out the card, of course, it's Christmas everywhere.
So this product is all targeted toward extreme overclockers and like the top high end of the gamers, actually the most fortunate. So that's the case for all the Lightning series, right?
Yeah, so the Lightning series, it's a very long running series. It started quite some time ago already, like in 2009 with the GTX 275 Lightning. And so every year, every new GPU iteration, they had a new card featured with the Lightning series, and always this series has been all about overclocking. So it has been used, you know, in the MSI MOA over the years. That's where it actually became, I think, the most really famous. And so a lot of people have been using those cards ever since. It's really a nice series of cards. It sports the yellow color, which is the color of MSI OC sides. So yeah, very nice. Yeah.
Sorry for that, guys.
Yeah,
don't die. We still need you.
Yeah. Sorry. For your opinion, that's your personal one. I'm gonna ask the other after. What would be the main feature of the 980 Ti for Lightning from MSI?
For Neo, you mean?
On your opinion.
Oh. My opinion, what would be the best feature? So what I like about this card, of course, you have the V checkpoints, etc., etc. But what I find interesting is once you, of course, unmount the cooler and put it on cold, it's very nice how it behaves. We haven't seen much reviews yet with actual under LN2 results. So I'm going to be looking really forward to that. And we've seen some scores from the French overclockers on it, and it's really promising cards. So
yeah, it was a little late compared to the other.
Yeah, it came later.
That arrived on the market. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. That's actually among the latest cards arrived, if we don't count the Hall of Fame special GOC edition, which is also among the new cards. So yeah, I'm sure they've put a lot of work into it. It took some time, but you know, sometimes you have to be ready to wait a little bit for the good stuff, right? So.
Well, and the 980 Ti won't be replaced anytime soon, so there's some...
Yes, no, well, hopefully, you know, for people buying those GPUs, it's gonna stay for a little bit, so...
Well, so if you're ready to throw like $900 to it, yeah,
that's it. But of course, you buy those cards, right? You buy them for more than just the 980 Ti GPU, right? You're looking at more than that. You're looking at, you know, being able to fiddle with it a bit more. You know, you have all this better power designs and everything that has been put onto the card, all the dual BIOSes, all that kind of thing. So it's really not just for the GPU you would purchase such a card.
Question for Strong Island 1. You haven't tested that card yet, if I'm right. What will be what will be the first thing you will test when you get it?
I would probably, you know, try to get it cold right away just to see what how high I could get the core clock up to. Yeah, I mean that's probably what I would, you know, test right away. Core
yeah, okay, so you're gonna go just straight to cold and see how far it can reach.
The air performance of GPUs just doesn't seem to really, you know, relate that much to you know, LN2. So I usually just, you know, test right away on LN2.
And Neo, I know you did test a lot of Lightnings before, so basically, like, for the complete series, what is your feeling about it?
I haven't even seen this one. This is the first time I actually see it in person. So, yeah, I couldn't tell you much about this card, but I expect it to be much of the same as the other ones, right? So, better than the gaming and, yeah, made for LN2. That's pretty much it.
Well, perfect. Let's move to the second card, the Galax 980 Ti Hall of Fame. This one, we can see that the card is all white. Once Timothée will... That's it. We can see that the card is all white. Actually, the cooling is white and the PCB is all white. Yes. I will actually present that one pretty quickly. The core frequency is 1190 megahertz with the boost at 1291 megahertz, 6 gig of RAM like the other ones, 3.5 gigahertz. That's similar to the other one also. Although triple fan, we have 8+2 power phases for it. Same kind of output, 3 display port, 1 HDMI, 1 DVI. This one you can have the voltage reading points. That's called the V-check on the Lightning, but on the Hall of Fame, it's just like a vGPU, vMem, and stuff like this. It's using Hynix memory. As far as I know, it's 3 years warranty, and there's although dual BIOSes, so you can switch the BIOS for like regular use and overclocking use. And and Timothée, can you explain a little bit more about the Hall of Fame, or even new?
So we have to explain first, because some people were confused when we posted about the card. We said it's the Galax HOF, so Hall of Fame card, and after that we edited and we added in that it was the KFA2 model. Galax and KFA2 it's the same company, it's the same brand, and in Europe it's people know the brand under KFA2, so that's how it is. And the box in the card we received is the KFA2 branded one. It is still called the Hall of Fame, of course. Everything is the same. There's different versions of this card. So you mentioned the special GOC edition, etc. So I will just quickly mention all the models. There's this one, which is the basic 980 Ti Hall of Fame. There's the 980 Ti Hall of Fame water cooled. There's the 980 Ti Hall of Fame black edition. So this one is completely black instead of having the white PCBs and everything. There's the 980 Ti Hall of Fame LN2. So this one is the one that is pretty much there to compete with Lightning, Strix, and Kingping Edition. And there's the 980 Ti LN2 GOC Edition. The main difference between both is that the GOC Edition has a slightly higher frequencies on the GPU and memory out of the box. Of course, I don't know, actually I haven't seen any results of that special GOC edition yet, so I'm not sure if it's Hynix or Samsung memory. But yeah, it's
we will know pretty soon. We will know
pretty soon when people will qualify right for the GOC, so it's not gonna take very long before we get to know more about that.
So the Hall of Fame LN2 GOC editions will be mainly used by the top overclockers to qualify on the GOC 2015 from Galax. So that's the competition from Galax. Actually, they launched it today.
Yeah,
I think it was launched
started. They had a quick update of the rules. It used to be you were limited to a single graphics card, which was that special GOC edition. Now it's open up to all the Galax cards. So no matter what GPU you have, you can compete, which is great. If you have one of those cards, you can use them as well, which is quite interesting. I think it's a nice change of rule. There's one thing to say. I think we mentioned the two BIOSes. That's pretty common on most of those cards. For the voltage points on this one, there's no connectors. It's straight on the PCB. You have to read with your voltmeter.
It's actually on. You have on the tops. Yeah. It's near the SI bridges port. You can directly solder on it.
Yeah, you can solder straight on there. True.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Timothée. Strong Island one, as always, what will be, because I know you didn't get this card either, what would be your preferred feature on this one?
Yeah, I mean, the LN2 version is amazing. It has almost double the amount of phases that the regular Hall of Fame edition has, so that would just be amazing just to test and play with it. It's really an amazing card. I was just about to get that one before I ended up getting the Kingpin card, but it was probably, between those two for me.
Well, I guess that if someone is sending it to you, you will always use it.
Oh, of course. Yeah, that card is amazing. I just would stare at the picture of the PCB for like forever. It was so beautiful.
It's true. It's very nice. Actually, I agree. That white PCB is it's brilliant. You know, it's like there's not many cards like this, and when you take it out, even though actually when you use it like this, it's actually not so much points, right? Because you have a big plate on the back covering, and the triple fan, all the fan thing covering it. But once you remove that, you know, it's like you open to mount your pod, and it's like, yeah, this is really great. It looks really good.
Well, that's a nice look to have it. Neo, did you test any of the Galax Hall of Fame cards?
Again, no. Particularly for me, it depends on which version you get, and depends on when you get it. So it would be very difficult for me to say, okay, I tested this one, but I don't know whether it's the LN2 version, the GOC version, or whatever. But yeah, I look forward to it someday. If I
in the past, you tested any Galax already? Any Galax or KFA2 cards?
No, I tested 1780 Ti, but that was there was some slight issue with that, so I ended up not actually publishing that review.
Oh.
Yeah.
Actually, I have one more question for you. As you are the owner of the Overclocker, you are doing pretty much all the reviews inside. What do you think about the special limited editions, like the Hall of Fame LN2 and the Hall of Fame LN2 GOC? Do you think these cards deserve a special kind of reviews, or you can consider them just as a spin-off of the regular graphic card?
I mean, if it says LN2, whether it's GOC or anything, it means you necessarily have to test LN2. And the value in it, I don't know, it depends, right? 980 Ti's are all generally the same, so you're basically trying to get one that's this easy to overclock. That's what make it the special version. The GOC version, if it doesn't have any of the limitations and so forth, then pretty much that's the one people should be buying, right? Pretty much what I can say about it.
Well, let's move to the third one, the ASUS 980 Ti Strix, and this one we had the chance to actually premiere the card during the HWBot World Tour Asia, so that was in June, but now it's on the market with the final specifications. Strong Island 1, can you just do like a quick run about all the specifications?
Yeah, it's a really nice card. It has 3 different performance modes. If you don't install the ASUS Tweak software, the base mode will be 1291 megahertz boost clock. If you install the ASUS Tweak software and you go with the OC profile, it'll be at 1317 megahertz boost clock, and the memory actually is overclocked in that mode also at 3.6 gigahertz. The card it has a lot of features. It actually doesn't have the dual BIOS feature that a lot of these cards have. I used the 980 Strix a lot, and that didn't really affect how I used it, so it wasn't that big of a deal. The card has the normal the hot wire points, they call them, with the ASUS, so you can easily overclock the vGPU, the memory, and the PLL. With just soldering to the different, the points on the card. It also has the 3 measurement points right next to the 3 overvolting points. You have to remove 2 resistors to fully activate that mode, and also bridge the 2 pads on the card. Well, actually, 1 pad is for the memory defroster, which is a really cool feature. So once you bridge that pad, the memory defroster pad, and you plug in the Molex power connector, it will, I believe, as soon as it goes below 0C, that's the only time it'll kick in, and it'll warm up the memory so you don't get the the crazy kind of memory cold bugs. I think that's a really cool feature. It's really awesome.
Well, the memory defroster, that used to be on the Matrix series, right?
Yeah. This was actually the first time, because the 980 Strix didn't have that. So yeah, that's why it's a little confusing, because it's kind of using some of the features from the Matrix, and sometimes you feel like what's left over for the Matrix, because the Strix performs so amazing that it's it's kind of I don't know, they're kind of becoming blurred a little bit in my eyes, but they're both still amazing cards. I know the Matrix is a little more powerful. It'll come with the dual BIOS and stuff like that, but the Strix is a really amazing card.
Well, I will switch to one of the questions for Neo directly, but the Strix and the Matrix, so they are so close. Where do you think that's going? Do you think they're gonna maybe merge that at one point, or maybe redifferentiate that and just spread new features on the Strix and on the Matrix?
It's difficult to say right now. We don't know what ASUS is planning or their roadmap is or whatever. But they actually may end up being the same thing if they're so close, right, in how they're designed and component selection and so forth. They may end up being the same thing, but other than that, we can't really say. There might be one that's just made specifically for the gamers who have a lot of money, who want the very special card, and that may be the Strix still, and the Matrix can be the all-out LN2 competition version or whatever.
Yeah, that makes me think actually. Weird. Yeah. Like you were mentioning Strong. So you said some of the feature you have to actually mod a little bit the card, right, to activate him, or
yeah, you just have to bridge the that one pad will give you the well, you actually have to bridge the one pad and then remove 2 resistors, and then you can get access to the over voltage.
Yeah, point. Maybe that's the difference there is for now between Matrix and the Strix, right? Is that the Strix offers similar features, but you have to be an advanced user already to actually go ahead with that kind of thing. Rather, maybe the Matrix will come with already all those things with
like
jumpers or switches to do that. Yeah. Like for example, the memory heating thing on the Matrix, yes, has a switch, if I remember correctly, to activate it. So yeah, maybe that's for now the difference.
It's a little more. I think there's a safe mode too on the Strix that, I mean, on the Matrix that defaults the BIOS. There's a couple premium features it has, but the thing is, you can get that same performance with the Strix most of the time,
And now the colors are the same, right?
Phases too. Yeah, they're close.
Yeah, true. And actually, even the cooler,
phases too.
Yeah, they look a lot similar to what the Matrix is.
Well, guys, I have one question for you, Strong Alan. One, you did test that card, right? How was your feeling when you did use it?
Yeah, that card is really amazing. It feels like some of the other premium cards. It just really is just easy to overclock. It's very stable. When it's cold, you don't even have to like reboot like one time. It's a really stable, nice card to use. I haven't really gotten into the memory defroster thing yet, but it is a really amazing card. It really is.
Neo, I don't think you did test that one yet. Would you prefer testing the Strix or the Matrix directly?
Preferably the one made specifically for LN2, because it's like this. If you have the choice of a Mercedes Black Edition or the regular AMG, you'll probably go with the Black Edition, and that would be the Matrix card. So I want to go straight to that one. There's no time for the other ones.
Yeah, that actually makes me think, right? We were talking before about the Lightning being one of the latest card of pre-overclock card being released, but actually the real latest one would be the Matrix in that case, because this card is it has been previewed at IFA. Very briefly, it sports that it seems copper kind of cooler color thing, but yeah, no one actually yet saw the card working. And we tried to get one for the show, and we couldn't get any because it was not available. So it's still to come, right?
So even though we say that like the Lightning was the latest on the market, it's actually not completely true, because the Matrix is still not out yet.
Yeah, so some goodness is hopefully still going to come.
Yeah,
who knows?
Yeah, definitely.
Perfect. Last card for tonight, the EVGA 980 Ti Classified Editions. Neo, you have tested this card. Strong Alan 1, you have tested this one too. Neo, just present us the card and what's special about it.
Oh, okay. So for the 980 Ti, which is the one I'm actually pointing at here, if you can see, the EVGA Kingpin Edition, you know the general specs. There's 6 gigs of memory, blah blah blah. You don't care about this stuff. It's 14 threads PWM and so forth. But the real juice, why you should actually care about this, is that unlike any other card, you don't need to do anything. Just mount your part and go. That's it, right? No special software, no soldering, nothing. Just that's why you pay so much for it. It's ready. It's a track beast. It's ready for the track. So you just mount your part and go. And that's pretty much it.
You don't have to modify anything?
There's nothing. You don't have to. There are no shenanigans. There's no special software. Nothing. Just buy the card, right? And anything you need is actually available on the net. Unlike any other card on the market, You literally buy it, mount your part, get some LN2, and start benching. That's it. So that's what makes it special.
Yeah, so Strong Island 1, I guess you will be getting you have the box although of that card.
Yeah,
with
yeah.
You.
Yeah, this is what the box.
Oh, nice.
So it's a special signature from Vince. Vince, that is Kingping. Yeah, yeah,
Sorry.
yeah.
Excellent.
So it's a more like
Yeah,
it's a
feels
more
very premium.
dark box. Yeah. What can you say about some extra features that you have?
This
and
is
you
mine right here. It's all.
all unmounted.
I can't get the.
No.
There you
It's
go.
covered in
Yeah,
grease,
don't move. That's good.
It's covered in a ton of grease and.
Yeah.
But yeah, this card I was just benching it last week and it's so amazing. I got it up to like 1930 megahertz. I wanted to break 2K, but I just still need a little more time with it. Once you get up to like 1.7 volts with this card, it's unbelievable the amount of nitrogen it just like dissolves. It's so crazy. I've never seen anything like it. It was hard to even keep up with a little bit. I need some more time with it to get really used to it because it's a little tough to drive at the very high end.
Well, as Neo said, you got the card, you put it under with your block under LN2 and went straight.
Just, the EVBot. That's all. Or if you don't have this, you can get the software tool, like Neo said, on the Kingpin cooling forums. But the EVBot's really cool because it keeps your settings every time you reboot, so you don't. The hardware solution is a little better.
So it saves you time, right?
You can even control it with the Raspberry Pi. You can. There's another interface they have. This I don't even know much about it, but this USB something SCART. I don't even know, but you can control it with that.
UART.
Yeah.
UART. Yeah.
You can control
That's kind of like a debug port. It's usually used on the like on these kind of stuff, like the small Odroids and Raspberry Pi. But you can plug that to the card, and you have the feedback of all the monitoring, like the temperature, if the temperature can still be read, and the voltage.
On and off. You can. This one also has the memory heater. You have to bridge 5 points on the card to have it work, but it also has a smart heater integrated. It's a really amazing card.
Yes.
So. Neo, you did test that card on the LN2 because I know that because you were in the studio when you did the test. What was your impression about it?
It's fantastic, but like you've already been told, it drinks a lot of LN2. Once you start getting up to like 1900 plus, then you're gonna have, depending on how well your mount is and how good your part is, you're gonna have a challenge keeping that card cold. But if you dial it in right, yeah, it'll perform very well. I mean, this particular sample was 1950, and that was not too difficult to achieve. 2G, yeah, that is going to take a little bit more time to get to, but yeah, it is a great card. Listen, benching 980 Ti is always going to be difficult, but this is going to be the most straightforward way to go about it.
Well, perfect. So guys, we asked you on the live chat what would be your preferred graphic card, and so far we have votes for. So there's like 39% of people that will go, and their favorite card is the MSI 980 Ti Lightnings. Then we have 33% of the people that have that wish to have the EVGA 980 Ti Kingpin Edition, the one we just talked about.
Yeah, another big point for that we missed is the Samsung memory.
Oh yeah.
Oh yes,
really
true.
big.
Yes, very good point.
It's the only card right now
Actually,
on the market.
there's 2 more points. The Kingping Editions is the only one on the market so far that we know have Samsung memory, Samsung IC on it. And is that the one that you can choose the ASIC of your GPU?
ASIC quality.
Yeah. This one I have right here is 80.1%. So it does like 1575 megahertz, just on the air cooler out of the box, which is, pretty decent for 980 Ti.
Yeah, that's very good, actually.
Yeah.
And that's the first time a brand make you choose the ASIC level on a VGA. It's never guaranteed on what you're gonna get. Like the overclocking is not guaranteed on which ASIC you get, but there's a trend. Like
it's an indicator.
There's some ASICs that are better. It's an indicator indeed. So that's quite interesting.
Maxwell, it doesn't scale that great. at ambient temps, the clocks don't scale with voltage, so they tried to, design a program that would help the air overclockers be able to reach higher frequencies without having to add voltage, and the higher ASIC seems to, do that.
Well, but all this, like even as Massman from HWBall was saying on the live chat just earlier today, like the difference on air cooling between the Samsung and the Hynix is not that big. There's almost no difference for air cooling, but the difference came in when you go under LN2, and that brings us to our third topic for tonight. All these cards are targeting a special, very high profile of enthusiasts, high profile of overclocker, extreme overclockers. One question always remains, Neo, as the owner of the overclockers, so you do reviews especially for overclockers and extreme overclockers. What would be the best way to test these cards?
LN2. I mean, there's one issue that I've always felt very passionate about is that's how overclocking and LN2 products are reviewed. Most of the time, like for instance, there's only one Lightning review right now that you can find, but it's not done on LN2. So essentially, the whole point of the card is missed. If you're gonna just test on air, then you may as well test other things, right? On the air, the Lightning is not different from the gaming card at all. Right, but you have to go LN2. That's how the only way you'll know. It's like, I don't know if you're familiar with the McLaren P1, amazing supercar.
McLaren,
hypercar.
Yes, P1 maybe not.
Yeah, the P1.
I trust you on that.
It's amazing track car, right? There's no point if you had to review that by driving into a shopping mall, then it's a useless review, right? If Top Gear.
Oh, it's driving well.
Yeah, right.
Kilometers per hour.
If Top Gear had us looking at the LaFerrari or something like that, and they just drove it around the mall or wherever, then we'd be like, that's terrible. We want them to take it around the track, the Top Gear track, right, and tell us the times and so forth. It's exactly the same thing as graphics card. If it says Lightning, then you have to put it on LN2. If you don't, the entire exercise is pointless, right? The same with the Kingpin card. Same with the ASUS Matrix card when it's here, right? The same with the Galax Hall of Fame. Because all of these guys, the vendors, they put so many hours and so much engineering effort behind all of this. All the 14-phase PWM, the memory heaters and so forth, all of that is lost with just air cooling. So you don't even give the cards the exposure that they actually need and appreciation, because these are really, really special cards, right? Really, they're not just a card that you just clock on in like, oh no, this one clocks better. That's disappointing. And unfortunately, a lot of the reviews, and even us as the overclocker, as a publication, we've been guilty of that. You take an LN2 card and testing it on air. That's terrible. That's tacky. Yeah, that's actually very poor. So I can tell you that as the overclocker, we will never do that again. We can switch here as a publication. We will never, ever. If it says LN2, if it says extreme, it goes under LN2. Anything less than that is shoddy of us, and you should call us out on it, right? And I think readers should call out all other publications. Doesn't matter your favorite website, your favorite magazine, whatever. If they do a card that says LN2 and they don't test LN2, then you should tell them that's poor. That's not acceptable.
So you do consider that these kind of cards, even though the manufacturers are trying as much as they can to target that to the high-end gaming crowd, as long as it's aimed primarily to the extreme overclockers, it should be tested under extreme.
Oh yeah, it has to be. I mean, like I said before, if you pick any other car, pick a Mercedes-Benz SLR, you have to put it on the track. You parked in your garage, it means nothing, right? It's just, then you may as well just have the toy model of it, right? Absolutely means nothing. You're like, okay, I want to take the fastest car on the planet or wherever, you're going to spend $1 million on it, and then you're going to drive it at the speed limit.
Yeah, that would be...
Why would you do that? Why spend all this money? Then you may as well go get a Prius then. How are you going to test a Prius the same way you test a Ferrari? How would you do that?
True.
Right?
It's a good illustration.
Yeah, so I think
it's a good analogy.
Yeah, it's pointless. So media needs to get your parts, get your LN2, and do the actual work of testing properly. Don't do this of, oh yeah, it ran my Battlefield 4 at, who cares, right? You can run Battlefield 4 on a gaming card. Do that there, right? But for LN2 cards, pay them the respects that they need. These cards take so much effort to make. So much effort.
You should not review them for even the pre-overclocked frequencies they come with.
It means it's meaningless.
Yeah,
it's absolutely meaningless. That's like testing it. Oh, does the car start? Of course it starts. That's what would make it.
That's why you bought a car for to begin with.
Of course it has 4 wheels. We know that part. Tell us something that we may not know. What does it do on the LN2 and so forth? What should we expect and that kind of thing.
So as your experience on making extreme reviews for the overclockers, like you did with the Kingping Edition just the past few weeks, what is the process for such review to happen?
Oh wow, there's a lot of preparation first, right? There's the sealing and finding the right software if you need the right software, and getting in touch with people who've actually, other overclockers who've actually tested the cards, find out their impressions, find out any advice they may have for you, right, if you're not familiar with it, and then go about it there. And maybe you don't have the part for it, maybe your part can't handle this particular CPU, so you try GPU, sorry, and then you try another part, right, and you try and get a hold of the vendor, and you're like, hey, can I have some help with this? What kind of clock speed should I be expecting under LN2? And you'll be surprised, a lot of the vendors would be willing to help you, right? They would be actually willing to help you as a reviewer to get the most out of their products, because like I said, these are so expensive to make, so expensive to make, right? And the amount of R&D that goes into it would blow you away. So yeah, these are great, fantastic products that really need to be shown in their full glory, if you will.
I see. On all the online reviews we usually read, there's not much that, and as you said, there's a lot of preparation to making such reviews. So, why do you think it's like this? The time frames, the time to do it, the knowledge.
Not really, but I know from our side it was a time thing, but even that actually becomes an excuse, because what happens is, if you have a 40-page review and all you're doing is just testing gaming, you've done that so many times, you've got the templates, you've got all of that, so doing such a review actually doesn't take time. You can do that in a day. But doing the LN2, I mean, any overclocker will tell you, testing a GPU, it's going to take days. It's going to take a long time.
How long you spend for the Kingpin? Yeah?
Wow, on the Kingpin card, I've actually had 2 orders of LN2 at 100 liters each. So I've gone through 2 tanks of LN2 just to do the review. But that's what it warrants. That's what you need to do. If you're not able to overclock and you're not well versed in, cooling cards and so forth, then perhaps don't do the review. Right? Or ask somebody else to do it for you.
Yeah, there are plenty of overclockers.
Yeah,
that will
there are
probably
lots
be okay
of overclockers.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Lots of them.
And the reason this is so important is because as overclockers, we go through so much, like so much, and the amount of money people spend buying these cards and making them go cold, but they have no reviews to read. Because every time, I mean,
well, it's true, you're the only magazine that actually posts reviews with LN2 part.
Yeah, you won't have, I mean, you can ask Strong Island, there was no other review for the Kingpin card that he could reference.
Yeah, definitely not, yeah.
Right, it's like, oh, am I going wrong here? Am I doing the right thing?
What do overclockers is basically wait that someone posts score to see what's happening, but it's not a review, it's just a score, so you have just...
It doesn't tell you much, right?
The last line of the conclusion of the story,
you try
you don't
and
have the
dissect their screenshot and their pictures, and that's all you really get.
Exactly.
Hopefully sometime they put some commentary explaining something, but it's true, most of the time there's nothing, so you have to contact them.
Yeah, it's just the little things. Like, I mean, a lot of these cards, like the Kingpin card, actually has droop settings for V-droop. Those settings are actually important. Sometimes you actually want V-droop, right? It will help your card clock better.
Yeah, my card needs a lot, this card I have, because as soon as the card goes under load, the temperature spike is insane. So you got to try to balance out the, if you have a lot of V-droop, it helps with that spike at, that first load.
See, there you go. That kind of information is so important, right? That's not in any review of this card that's come out. And you have to ask yourself then, how is that not possible when these features are actually on the card physically, right? And you have to adjust them, even on the EV bot and so forth. All of those things matter. They matter so much, right? It's being able to control your the amount of traction control you have in a hypercar.
Yeah.
If you don't mention that, right?
Yeah.
Well, the car analogy is quite good, actually. I will be using that one. Strong Island 1, you also did test the Kingping Edition. What was your feeling about it?
Yeah, it just, you know, you can just tell that it was made to just be pushed to the max, you know, like, again, like I said about the Strix, like, you don't, it was so solid, you didn't even have to, you know, restart the computer one time, like, it was just so amazing, and just to be able to put a GPU in and use voltages that high and just feel safe about it, and it's just, you know, just everything about it is really amazing, from the, you know, the dip switches for the V-droop, like Neo said, and the, you know, there's just so many, just so much there is to it. It's really incredible. It's just a lot of fun to bench.
Well, beside all the testing that need to be made and the time you need to test, there's usually a side effect that if you take more time, either you need the card well in advance or you need more time to publish. So you always, you know, look a bit late to the market. Do you think, Neo, that was one of the issue as most people just do like one paragraph of overclocking, like we tried this and this is how far we went?
I don't even think it's about that. It can never be too late. But if you think about it, what is late? There isn't a faster GPU than the 980 Ti. So how could it be late, right? In what context are you saying the GPU is late? You don't have. There's no point in being first and being wrong, right? You'd rather take some time and then have an accurate representation of all the work that's been put into the card. It's the same with motherboards. If you take motherboards, get better with time. With each BIOS revision, they actually get better. Being first doesn't tell you anything. There may be bugs that you are experiencing, right? That might be ironed out later. So I don't know. I don't think it's a matter of just trying to be on time and so forth, because when you think about it, there actually isn't such a thing as on time, right? It has to be a reliable review. And yeah, so yeah, maybe it's a time issue, but I think that's like, it would be a cheap excuse, at least for me to use. That it's a time issue.
So you would not run for SEO?
No. I mean, it's not. It's pointless. It has to be reliable. The review has to be reliable. And you read the guides that Kingpin has posted, that 10 posts, that Shimino posts, Kulas, anybody, right? Yeah. Those guides are timeless. You can keep using them.
True, yeah. Especially when they make PDF versions.
Exactly.
You keep them on a drive, you never know, right? Like,
that is useful information you can use for a long time. A review should be like that. It should be able to stand on its own and be reliable. If it just depends on, I was first, then yeah, it's kind of not. That's pointless, right? I may as well just go to YouTube and watch the video reviews then. Right?
Yeah, or the unboxings.
Yeah, or the unboxings.
Read the PR.
That's really all it feels like, is a lot of the reviews, like you said, that come out quick is just like an unboxing, you know, with just the specs kind of just read off and, you know, some gaming, you know, FPS numbers thrown out. But yeah, it's not, it's just, you know, it's not what the card really represents.
There's also one thing, as you said, Neo, most of the cards are the same. It's the same GPU. There's no difference in the GPU. So basically it comes down to just minor tweakings, or the BIOS, or the memory timings, or the memory IC they use. And they pretty much use the same ICs either. So there's not much difference between them. So it comes down to the features, and maybe the game bundle does. I think that's the reason why we see more and more game bundle now.
Definitely. And these cards are great for gaming as well, because you can retire your benching cards for gaming later. If you decide, okay, this generation is done, this is going to go into my gaming card. That's fantastic. And even as a gamer, you can't buy the LN2 cards and feel that, man, I have the best cards ever. Should I ever want to overclock these, I'll just pull it out of my gaming rig. So you can still do that. And most of these cards actually have the highest, what do you call this, factory overclock?
Yeah, pre-overclocked, yeah.
Right? So you're not losing out as a gamer if you buy any of these. You're still going to get the highest clock.
Yeah, even out of the box. It's already pretty much, it's much better than stock or reference.
Definitely. So you will still get that part. But I feel that as media should represent the entire image, at least they should represent a true image, not just the lazy reviews that basically we have, where it's just, I'm going to do Battlefield 4 and all that. Nobody really cares.
Run through all the
run 50 benches.
Yeah, run 50 benches, and with comparing cards that were tested 2 years ago with the cards you're testing today, it's different drivers, and it doesn't mean anything. And on that point, actually, I just need to add, I really do mean what I said about the Kingpin card. You just bench it and go. There's no finding software needed. Unfortunately, with some cards, if you don't know the right people, you can't bench them.
It's true. Like for example, on the MSI one, you need the afterburner software, which is hard to get.
Which is the impossible, exactly. So if you just buy it, you can't bench it.
For Galax, do we need some special software?
I don't know about the Galax.
I'm not aware of that one.
Yeah, you need a software tool for that.
Okay.
Supposedly, if you buy the LN2 edition, you have access to some of their in-house overclockers. So I'm guessing that you can get access to it, you know. But yeah, that was a little hard with the 980 when they released that. A lot of people weren't able to, you know, get the software. It's online now.
Yeah. And what about software for the Strix? Do you need anything special there?
This one, no. It's all hard, you know, hard mods to be able to get the voltage control. You can use the ASUS tweak, you know, the GPU tweak, but to really get the full voltage control and the voltage controls, you have to do a hard mod. The 980 Strix had a tool they released, but I haven't seen that yet in the, you know, Shimino's lair at the Kingpin cooling forums. It hasn't been posted yet. So right now, just a hard mod to be able to get the voltage control.
Can you overclock? Though with the hard mod, can you control everything that you need?
Yeah. I'm not really sure about GPU tweak. If you bridge the pads like the Matrix was, where you'd get extended controls in GPU tweak, I'm not sure if the 980 Ti Strix offers that. But yeah, you can use that to control all the, you know, frequencies, and then you can do the hard mod for the voltage control.
Okay, cool.
So
I have one last question for you guys. So, why the manufacturers always sell the special LN2 editions with a cooler on it? Why not just selling the PCB? Save $20, $30, I don't know, 40 bucks.
It's not this.
The same price, but make it for $40 better.
Jacob from I remember Jacob from EVGA saying that it was easier to test all the cards with the cooler on. Like if they didn't sell them without a cooler, it would be hard to, like, you know, test each one. I don't know if that has anything to do with it. But
I mean, out of the factory, you mean?
Yeah, to like when they're first, you know, testing the cards out, it's just easier to have coolers on them. It would be more expensive to actually have to, you know, put a cooler on each card and then test it, and I don't know.
Well, actually, they have to pay people to remove the cooler, I think. That would be the issue.
Yeah,
so it would be more expensive to remove the cooler.
Yeah, I think somehow it would be.
Well, I think that's some of the topic. Thank you guys for your opinions. We don't have any invited overclocker tonight. For our list, could not make it. We could not make it on the lives, so we're gonna have a quick interview with him, like by text.
Yeah, we'll do a written one, I think, later on. That's no problem.
Sure. So today we did talk about the latest competitions happening at OC-Esports.io. We had a nice topic about the 980 Ti, the MSI Lightning. We had the Galax 980 Ti Hall of Fame. We had the ASUS 980 Ti Strix, and we had the EVGA 980 Ti Classified Editions. And we also talk about the importance of LN2 in the hardware reviews. Don't forget, guys, if you just join us now on Twitch, you can always watch this video again on the replay on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/OverClocking-TV, and you can always find us on Twitter and follow us here on Twitch. I would like to thank Keriko232, Goffspar, and Darren Lays for the follow. Thank you, guys. It's always difficult to pronounce the nickname like this, but it's fun. Timothée, when is the next OC show?
So the next OC show will be a shoot on next Monday. So I'm not too sure what we're going to talk about yet. There will be hopefully some new competitions. There will be the Team Cup ending, so we will have some more information about that. And I hope also in 2 weeks we can do something eventually, maybe with Gigabyte, to talk about their OC board, which is came out last week. So hopefully in 2 weeks from now we can get someone from Gigabyte maybe on the show to actually tell us what went into their OC board, which is finally here. So that's going to be hopefully quite exciting.
We will see, indeed. Well, thank you to our guest tonight, Strong Island 1. Strong Island 1, where can we find you? Where do you write for? Find you on Twitter?
Yeah, I'm really just on, you know, overclock.net, Strong Island 1, and then HWBot. You know, those are really the main places where I am.
Can people contact you for questions about the cards or anything? Are you okay with that?
Yeah, for sure.
Great.
Awesome. He didn't say gonna reply. He just said yeah. People can contact.
No, that would be cool. Yeah, that would be awesome. I have the Classified Owners Club over at overclock.net and a lot of EVGA stuff over there.
Well, great. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you very much for having me.
You're welcome. And thank you again, Neo, as the owner of the Overclockers. It's always good to have you there. And where can people find you and read the Overclocker?
Same place, theoverclocker.com.
And we can find you on Facebook, although at the Overclocker, right?
Yep.
And the review of the Classified would be in the next issue.
Yes, of course. That
is due when?
That is due early October.
Okay.
Yeah.
So before the 15th.
The last one came out on the 19th, so it should be before the 19th. It's bi-monthly, man.
Perfect. Yeah. Well, thank you for being with us, and thank you for being right on time before we started the show today. Thank you, Timothée, for producing.
It really is a great magazine. Yeah, it's really great.
Thank you, Timothée, for producing that. Thank you to the viewers for watching it. If you like the show, just give it a thumbs up. If you don't like it, just give it a thumb down. Don't forget to drop in the comments, and if you have any questions or suggestions, we will read them off. So, guys, until next time, keep pushing it.
See it.
Yeah.